please?
Yeah, I'm about to. I'm about to. Rocky, are you all set?
Am I upset?
Are you all set?
Yes.
First question will go to Rico Cooney.
Rocky, if you can assess your performance today and maybe talk about one or two things that you got to clean up going forward.
Yeah, I think overall, obviously, at the end of the day, my performance wasn't good enough to win us the game. So in my mind, I need to be better. But some things I did well, I thought I completed most of my passes, kept the ball in play, kept us moving in the right direction. I think the offense showed some good things today. We're moving the ball. Obviously, we killed ourselves with a whole lot of turnovers, but we're moving the ball and we're showing that we can be productive on offense and we can score touchdowns.
Next, we'll go to Stephen Brooks from 24/7 Sports.
Sorry, let me get my feet. All right. Hey, Rocky, I'm curious, when did you learn that you would be starting this game? And, whether it's your own opinion or what was communicated to you, why do you think you were chosen as the starter? Because all we've heard, obviously, is that it's been a fierce competition this entire time. So when did you learn, and why do you think you were the guy today?
Yeah, I learned earlier this week. I can't remember exactly the day, but sometime earlier this week. I think that, ultimately Coach Tucker obviously wants to win games. He wants to put the best players out there, and I think it was a combination of my experience, my leadership, and just ultimately trying to be the best player that I could be. So, yeah, I learned earlier this week, but it was – I think it just comes down to putting the players out there that you think give you the best chance to win.
Thank you.
Next question will go to Chris Solari from the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Rocky, I guess kind of walk us through a couple of those early plays. First, you get the pass to Jaden there, and you see the fumble, I guess, the moment there. And then, the other couple turnovers early. What happened on those plays?
Yeah, well, that's one heck of a way to start a game. So it's pretty unfortunate. But, like I said earlier, I think that we showed a lot of good things. And like you were talking about with the turnovers, I don't know if there's ever been a team in the history of football to win a game with 7 turnovers. And you guys can challenge me on that one. I want you to find an example. But, you turn the ball 7 times, turn over the ball 7 times, you're not going to win a game. So it's pretty unfortunate that happened. But, we just gotta work on that this week and stay locked in.
Next question is from Matt Wenzel from M Live.
Hey, Rocky, obviously we've seen you in the starting role before, but, last year your opportunities were much different. How much different did you feel in just the opportunity you had today, and what areas do you think you've grown the most as a quarterback since 2018?
Yeah, comfort level for sure. Like you talked about, played a little bit this year, but it really wasn't even meaningful minutes almost the whole year. So to go out now, I just feel so much more comfortable in my game plan, knowing the game plan and my weapons on the outside and the O-line. I think that I feel really comfortable with our offense right now. I think that we got the weapons to be a productive offense.
Next question will be from Brian Goldsmith.
Hi, Rocky. It seemed there were some communication issues early on and sometimes late throughout the game between yourself and the receivers, which led to a few interceptions. What do you think you'll need to do in practice to clean up the mishaps?
Yeah, it's just like you said, miscommunications, and sometimes that happens. There's reads on plays where receiver's supposed to do this versus this, and sometimes the quarterback and receiver aren't on the same page. So it really just comes down to repping that out versus the looks that we're getting, and just making sure that we're on the same page. You got to try to make your rules as concrete as possible so that so that you can be productive. And then the one late in the game to Ricky, that's not on Ricky, but we were driving down in 2 minutes and they had 3 deep safeties and they're playing off 20 yards. And I told them after the play, I said, hey, if they're going to give us 10 free ones, we're going to take it. We're going to take that first down. So he was not expected to be ready on that, but I think that's another place where we can progress our game, to make those plays.
And then quick follow-up, was that supposed to be a fly route, or was that like a design where he breaks off from the intended route to the open space?
It's just a basic 4 vertical concepts. You know, it's a bender or vertical depending on how many safeties there are out there, and yeah, it's just basic 4 vertical concept.
We'll go back to Stephen Brooks and then Mike Stone following.
Yeah, Rocky, I guess going off that a little bit, the first interception, I'm sorry, is
Yep.
that a situation where you thought a different thing was coming than what the receiver ran there? Or was that on
Yeah.
you? Was that on the receiver? I mean, not to point
Yeah,
fingers, I guess I said, but just what happened there?
Yeah, it's just it was a vertical route where we had the choice to come back or go, and he chose go and I chose come back. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in my favor, but just kind of like I said, one of those things where we got to be on the same page. We got to have concrete rules and figure out, you know, in what situation is it appropriate to go, and what situation is it appropriate to sit.
And then I wanted to ask you too about Jaden Reed, obviously making his debut as a Michigan State player here. What do you think of him, and what type of weapon is he for you guys?
Yeah, wow, he is a talented player, and you know we have other talents too. But for him to come in, you know, first Big Ten game, he obviously had to sit last year, which I'm sure was painful for him being the freshman, you know, an all freshman whatever MAC player, and he's got some real talent, and he's shown it in practice, and he's shown it in scrimmages, and he's shown it in workouts. He's going to be a real useful weapon for us and a real good player here.
Thank you.
Rocky, not as an excuse because Rutgers had the same situation. How difficult is it to prepare for a team with a new coach, no film at all, and will be easier down the road, not just next week, but all the way, because at least you'll have something on tape that the other team has shown?
Yeah, there was definitely some uncertainties, and you know you got to give Coach Giano and his staff credit. Obviously, Coach Giano is a decorated coach. He's going to do a good job at Rutgers, I feel, in the next, you know, in his tenure there. But it was difficult because, you know, we had a general idea of what we thought they were going to do, and you know, and they did for the most part what we thought they were going to do. But who knows? You know, they could have came out in something totally different, and obviously they gave us different looks than we've seen on film. So there was no real certainty coming into the game of what they were going to run. But all we had to do was, you know, try to prepare and give ourselves the best opportunity to win.
Thank you.
We have time for a couple more. We'll go to Eli McCown from the State News.
Hey, Rocky. So Mel Tucker and some of your teammates have talked about next and coming up for next week, kind of like moving on after tonight to the next game. So for the next game, what are you and the offense looking to do to try to improve off of this performance?
Yeah, I think obviously turnovers, we got to get rid of turnovers. I think that really if we don't turn the ball over today, I think we have a really efficient and really productive offensive day. And honestly, the defense would be more productive too, because I think a lot of the defensive points we gave up today were on the offense because, you know, we're turning the ball over on our own territory, momentum swings. There's so many obstacles for the defense to overcome. So, you know, just cutting out those turnovers and being comfortable with what we're doing. I think that we really had a fairly productive day on offense aside from the turnovers. So it's just continuing to do what we're doing. And yeah, all our teammates are thinking about moving on from the game. And that's win or loss. You know, we could have come in here and beat them by 100 on to the next game. You know, that's all you can do. You got to move on. You don't get those opportunities back. You don't get those games back. So.
Last two questions. We'll go to Seth Wells first, followed by Chris Solari.
I don't think I asked for a question next, but I'll gladly ask one. Rocky, what was the environment like out there with no fans? I know that obviously you've been here with 70,000 screaming Spartan fans, and today there was just cutouts and there wasn't a band, there wasn't cheerleaders. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, obviously I think the whole team missed the fans. That's some of my favorite parts of the game is coming out and all the fans cheering you on and everybody's in there watching you play. And I think it was definitely different. It almost didn't feel real, you know, but we're definitely excited to get fans back in Spartan Stadium. We miss you guys. We love you guys. So stay with us.
And the last question, Chris Solari.
You guys got 60 yards rushing, which probably was not what you intended, but still nearly put up 400, I guess. What needs to change in the rushing game, and how critical is that going into next week against Michigan to be able to move the ball on the ground? It's always one of the big stats with that. Yeah, definitely. The run game is critical for the entire game. You know, the run game opens up the pass game. You need to run the ball. So I think it's a combination of both. The O-line and the receivers. We had some receivers miss blocks today on the perimeter. We had some miscommunications.
And you know, we're still learning. We're still trying to figure out, you know, who's going to block here, who's going to block there, where's the point going to go, where's the whole line going to block. So it really just comes down to making sure we're on the same page. We had a few miscommunications with the O-line and myself as well. So just making sure we're on the same page. And once we're on the same page and we get everybody blocked, we get everybody accounted for at least, then we'll be able to, you know, get those blocks and make those big runs that we had a couple times today.
Rocky, thanks so much for taking your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
That will be it for players for us. And we will, I believe we'll have some recordings that we can try to make available as well.
Okay, thanks, Max. So are we done?
Yes, we are done with players.
Okay. Okay.
All right, thanks,
Are
Max.
coordinators coming then?
I'm not sure of that. I'll check on that.
Okay.